Hi there, and welcome to this week's special edition of Sports Scene here on WLCS TV. Usually during the program, we talk to somebody involved in sports in the Lorain City Schools athletic department. Well, this week we're going to bring you a ball game right here on WLCS. It's the crosstown rivalry as the Southview Saints take on the Lorain Steelmen in an Erie Shore Conference matchup. Lorain High comes into the matchup with a record of 3-3 on the year. Southview, a disappointing 1-5 on the season. They'll try to get it back on track when they face the Steelmen here at George Daniel Field in Lorain. And we'll bring you the opening kickoff on Sports Scene right after this. And we are just about set to get it underway as Steve Bibb does the kicking, and he puts it down the sideline. But before Lorain High has an opportunity to return the kick, whistles blow, and we're going to start this thing all over again.
I think we may have had an offside penalty there on Southview.
So Steve Bibb will tee it up all over again. Southview is technically the home team tonight here at George Daniel Field. Actually a legal procedure against Lorain High, so that will give Bibb 5 more yards to work with. The Saints, the home team, they're in their home blue uniforms with the white letters and numbers with the red trim, the red helmet with the white pants, and Lorain High in their traveling white uniforms tonight with the black letters and numbers, gold pants with the black and white stripe down the side with the black helmet. And we'd like to welcome along the folks in the city of Lorain who are watching this game on WLCS TV 6, part of our Sports Scene program. Bob Quinlan running the camera down there for us. Hope they enjoy the ball game. Bibb tees it up all over again at the 45-yard line, and here we go. Again, he hangs it down the sideline. And the kick is fielded at the 10-yard line, looking for room as Church comes up the middle, has a lot of room. He's to the 35, to the 40, to the 45, to the 50, and there he goes. He's to the 35, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Oh my, what a way to start the ball game. Donald Church for Lorain High takes the opening kickoff and just bursts up the middle and then scoots to the sideline. And he goes, I would say, about 92 yards for the score.
You could tell that right away, Tim, because he got some blockers at the 20-yard line, and once he got through those, he cut to the outside, and there was nobody behind the original line that came down from Southview, and he was gone. 92 yards, we'll call it unofficially, for Church.
14 seconds is all it took, and Lorain High with a quick 6-0 lead. And now on to attempt the extra point, Matt Summers. Good snap and hold, and the kick is blocked. Well, Lorain High gets the 6 points on the kickoff return, but the Saints block the extra point. 11:46 to go, first quarter of play. Donald Church electrifies the crowd with a 92-yard kickoff return for the touchdown. 6-0, Lorain High. We'll be back right after this. Weapons, well, that technically wasn't an offensive play, but Donald Church with his 10th touchdown of the year, he electrified the crowd with that 92-yard return. And now the Steelmen kick off, short kick, fielded at the 23-yard line for Southview, out over the 40 and ridden out at about the 40-yard line for the Saints is William Nixon.
Nice return by Nixon. Not much he could do with that. The ball was pretty much dropped right at the 25-yard line, picked it up and managed to get it out to the 40. So we'll give him 15 yards on the return. And so Southview's going to take over now, 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line.
Roger Engel is the Saint quarterback, 6-foot junior. In the backfield with him, Adrian Johnson along with Orlando Pagan. The Saints generally will come out with a 3 wide receiver set featuring William Nixon, Jason Oriano, and Felix Merced. First down and 10 from the 40-yard line. 11:40 to go, first quarter. Engel pitches to Adrian Johnson. Johnson looking for room right side, ridden out of bounds. He may have lost a couple of yards on that play. Excellent defensive play made by Greg Williams of Lorain High. Actually, that was Stephon Jackson on the carry. Excuse me, not Adrian Johnson.
That time there was no blocking on that play at all. He came to the outside. Nobody pulled for him, and there was 4 white shirts around Johnson, and he gets dropped for about a yard and a half loss.
Second down and 11. Splitting wide to the left for Southview is Kevin Johnston. In the slot left is Jason Oriano. Nixon is split out to the right. Engel looks, throws, almost intercepted by Adam Lucas, the defensive end. He got his big paw up in the air and almost caught the football as he batted it down.
I'll tell you what, Tim, that would have been 6 if he'd have picked that off. There was nobody between him and the end zone. And a lineman's dream, so to say, came up there and almost picked it off like he was going up for the rebound.
Well, the start of this football game has been absolutely disastrous for Southview. Donald Church with a 92-yard kickoff return to start it. And now Southview has lost a yard and a half on 2 plays offensively. 3rd down and 11. Engel looks, throws it out to Oriano. Oriano looking for room and gets to about the 44. He'll be far short of the first down. Sanjay Capers made the stop for Lorain High.
Well, they're again very conservative on 3rd down and 11, Tim. You expect to perhaps open it up a little bit more, but I guess that they'd rather go a little bit more conservative. Dave Capel saying, like, well, 3rd down 11, I guess they don't have enough confidence maybe to get that first down with 11-yard pass play.
Bibb on to punt the ball away for Southview, standing at his own 30-yard line. Good snap, and now Bibb drops it, but the rush isn't on, and he shanks an awful punt off the side of his foot. It barely goes into Lorain High territory and then rolls out of bounds in Southview territory at the 44-yard line. Actually, about the 46. That's going to end up as a 2-yard punt. Well, Bibb had a perfect snap, and he just bobbled it. Lorain High didn't have the rush on. Bibb had plenty of times. He just shanked it off the side of his foot, and then it took a Lorain High bounce, and it ends up being a 2-yard punt. Lorain High 1st down and 10 at the Southview 46-yard line. I formation behind Tommy Hicks. Hicks turns and hands off to Church. Spins away from a tackler, gets to the 40, almost broke it outside. Tackled at the 38-yard line. Pickup of about 8 for Donald Church.
That was Teddy James on the tackle for Southview, and another nice run there by Church. Bounced off about 3 would-be tacklers and managed to get 6 yards when really at first it looked like there was nothing there.
2nd down and 4. 9:34 to go, first quarter of play. Again, I formation behind Tom Hicks, 6-foot sophomore quarterback. Church is the deep back in the I, and Hicks stutters the snap count, and he drew Southview offside. Encroachment call will go against the Saints, and that will give Lorain High a free first down. Set that Lorain High offensive line for you. Jody Coleman is the center, 190-pound senior. Adam Alloway and Keith Young are the guards. Jeff Litz and Josh Terry are the tackles. Adam Lucas is the tight end. Scott Hands is the wide receiver. Greg Williams the wingback. Donald Church and Tyree Whitaker in the backfield behind Tommy Hicks. 1st down and 10 for Lorain High at the Southview 34-yard line. Hicks hands off to Whitaker, breaks a tackle, but he doesn't break the 2nd and the 3rd, and he swarmed under at the 36-yard line. Loss of about 2 on the play.
Nice job there by Deion Moy and also Adrian Johnson of Southview coming up to make the hit, and that's going to be a no-gainer. That's what Southview has to do a little more. Have to get more aggressive there on defenses as well as on the offense right now on the defensive end and see if they can make something happen.
To give Tyree Whitaker forward progress to the 35-yard line. No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10. Williams in a wing right, handoff Church. Church right side, gets down to about the 31. Pickup of 4 will set up 3rd down and 6. For Southview defensively, they play that Michigan State stunt 4-3. Tito Gonzalez and Quincy Barbie are the tackles. There'll be a slew of tackles in there for Southview. They really rotate their players in and out. Miguel Gonzalez and Ilzada Lozada are the defensive ends. Tim Thompson, Adrian Johnson, and Deion Moy are the linebackers. Chad Wargo, Jason Oriano, Teddy James, and William Nixon are the defensive backs. 3rd down. Hicks back to pass, got whacked, and the ball is coughed up, and I think the Saints might have it at the 44-yard line. Let's see. Hicks got smashed as he went to throw the football, and his arm was not moving forward, and Adrian Johnson came up with the fumble at the 44.
That's a big break for Southview there.
Let's see if it lights a little bit of a spark under Southview.
Looked like kind of a broken play there. Hicks looked like he wanted to hand off to Church. Church didn't take it, and then he looked like he was going to pass, and only took about a 2-step drop, and he got hit just before he released the ball, and it's a fumble.
So the first turnover of the ball game gives the ball to the Saints at their own 43. 1st down and 10 as Roger Engel resets the offense. Engel turns, throws, completes to Oriano. Oriano on the left side looking for room. Backs away from a tackler, gets to the midfield stripe and the 49-yard line of Lorain High.
And that was all Oriano on that play there. He was hit at the line of scrimmage and got thrown for 5 yards forward and managed to get about 7 off the reception. I'll tell you what, Tim, it's a nice little gain there, almost like a long handoff.
2nd down and 3. We'll set the Southview offensive line after this play. Stephon Jackson is the lone back behind Roger Engel. Ball just inside the 50-yard line. Engel hands off to Jackson, left side, just barrels his way to the 44-yard line of Lorain High and picks up a 1st down. Tito Gonzalez is the Southview center. Quincy Barbie and Ken Miller are the guards, with Mike Bailica and Miguel Gonzalez, the 2 tackles. For Lorain High defensively, Adam Lucas and Deshaun Lind are the defensive ends. Jeff Litz and Ruben Belisario are the tackles. London Chapman, Tyree Whitaker, and Jody Coleman are the linebackers, with Sanjay Capers, Greg Williams, Terry Summers, and Alvin Thomas the defensive backs. 1st down and 10 for the Saints at the Lorain High 44-yard line. Engel pitches. Jackson looking for room. There is none. Down he goes. Loss of 6 on the play as he's hit at the 50-yard line. Greg Williams with a tremendous defensive play for Lorain High.
And, Jim, that's the same play that they ran coming out of the box, the first play on offense. And, again, 4 white jerseys on the left, no blockers, and that's going to be a loss once again. This time, though, a big one. The first one was for a loss of 1. This is for a loss of 6.
Now, there is a flag on the play. The illegal block against Southview. See what Terry King elects to do here, because he got a loss of 6, almost 7 on the play as it was. The officials talking things over with Adam Lucas, defensive captain for Lorain High.
I'd definitely take the play on this one, Tim.
And I think that's what Lorain High is going to do. They're going to spot the football right. Well, they're going to push it back. Well, they're going to mark that from the spot of the foul, so the ball is all the way back to the 35-yard line of Southview.
Well, that's different. That's a 15-yard penalty.
So they've got about 15 and another 15, 16. Got 31 yards to go to pick up the 1st down.
So that ought to be a dead ball foul then.
Twins to the left. Nixon, single wide receiver to the right. Engel back to pass. Looks, sets up the screen, throws over the middle, incomplete. He was looking for Adrian Johnson. Lorain High applied the rush, but they also stayed with Johnson, and Engel wasn't able to get the pass in there.
Nice job by Adam Fickey, who read that screen out all the way and really gave no chance at all for that to work for Adrian Johnson in Southview.
Checking in with the play is Kevin Johnston for Southview. He splits to the left along with Oriano. Nixon to the right. Engel back to pass. Looks, throws over the middle, incomplete. He was looking for Byron Buxton at the 44-yard line. Threw it low and away, and Buxton wasn't able to make the sliding grab, so Southview will have to punt it away.
Actually, it's going to be 3rd down, Tim. They did not take it down off the first one, so that was a 6-yard loss and a 15-yard penalty, and it's still they gave him 1st down before, so it's going to be 3rd and 35.
Oh, okay. There we go. So it is 3rd down. And about a mile for Southview. Oriano comes in motion to the left. Engel rolling left, looking, feeling some heat. Flung down, and now he throws the ball in the Lorain High bench, and that's intentional grounding.
Yep.
Tyree Whitaker flung Engel to the ground all the way back at the 25-yard line, and Engel just threw the ball at the Steelman bench, and the flag flew immediately. And they'll mark that from the spot of the foul.
Well, that's also a loss of down on intentional grounding. This is going to be a 4th down in Lorain County, so they're going to bring on the punting unit.
I like that. 4th down in Lorain County to go. Well, when you think about the fact that Southview had the ball at the Lorain High 44-yard line, and now with the intentional grounding call,
they'll be lucky to get it back there, Tim.
You're exactly
on
right.
The punt.
Bibb is now standing at his own 5-yard line to kick it away. 4th and 45 with 5:39 to go, 1st quarter. High snap, but Bibb got it down, gets the kick away. This time he gets away a decent kick. Fielded at the 45-yard line. Coming up the middle is Williams, and he gets to the 42 of Southview.
Nice tackle by Matt Mercado on special teams. That was a low punt, and really not a lot of time for Southview to come down on their coverage, but Mercado hustled down and made sure that he did not allow Lorain to have a big punt return on that. Still good field position, though, for the Lorain team.
5.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Lorain High leading 6-0 on the opening kickoff. Donald Church raced 92 yards for the score. Steelman missed the extra point, but they've got themselves a lead. I formation behind Tommy Hicks. Hicks play action, rolls to the right, throws it out, incomplete, looking for Tyree Whitaker at the 36-yard line, and there's a flag right in the middle of the field.
I'll tell you what, Whitaker was wide open. I think he may have done a little bit running before he caught the ball, and that was a nice play fake there by the quarterback for Lorain, Tom Hicks. And nobody out there in the flat basically but Whitaker and a couple blockers.
Al, I have to tell you that every time there's a flag tonight, the ever alert, ever observant Tim Pagasnik, he'll point it out immediately. He'll let you know there's a flag out there.
That's why he's here.
Sitting right in between us.
Well, it wouldn't have mattered anyway because of the flag, so I guess Whitaker can take some consolation in that.
Penalty against Lorain High. It's now 1st and 15. Splitting to the right, Sanjay Capers for the Steelmen. Double wing formation, single back behind Tommy Hicks. Now Williams goes in motion to the right. Hicks hands off to the other wing, which is Donald Church. He's got room down the left sideline. 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. But there is a flag on the play, so hold on.
I think this is coming back. It looked like there was illegal motion on Lorain on that one. It seemed like there was a problem with the snap. Hicks couldn't really get the ball from the center. We'll see what happened there. It looked like the center really didn't know the snap count because everybody else moved and the ball wasn't snapped right away, Tim. So that's what it's going to be. They're calling it back.
Donald Church's 47-yard touchdown run will be taken off the board. Well, that was a pretty play, well designed. Unfortunately, illegal motion against the Steelmen.
Tim, I don't know why they don't just keep giving the ball to Church every time he's touched it. Now he's had a 92-yard kickoff return. He's had a 6-yard run and then a tough 4-yard run, and there he runs for a touchdown again that's going to be called back. I keep giving him the ball.
Well, maybe Terry King has his Walkman on down there. He's listening to us, and you know, that Al Pulaski guy, he's got a good idea up there in the box. Anyway, so it's now 1st and 20 as the ball is pushed back to the Lorain High 48-yard line. And they come out in the same formation, double wing, with Whitaker all alone behind Hicks. Hicks trips over his center's foot and goes down at the 44-yard line.
Both teams just having a lot of trouble on offense. Both of them. After that kickoff return by Church, it seems the offense has been going the wrong way.
Yeah, I don't think there's been too much positive yardage on the offensive side. 2nd down and 23 as Hicks lost 3 after tripping over his center's foot. I think he got tangled up with Jody Coleman. Again, double wing formation. And now Williams goes in motion to the right. Hicks back to pass, throws it out to Williams. Complete. Williams to the 45, to the 50, and down to the Southview 45-yard line. Chad Wargo in on the stop for the Saints.
Nice solo tackle there by Wargo, too. Wrapped him up at the legs where you have to get him and brought him down. A couple high tackles attempted on Williams there early to no avail. And Wargo's the man that came up and did it by himself.
And a nice play call there by Terry King, not trying to get it all back at once. Sets up 3rd down and about 13. 3:50 to go in the quarter. Lorain High at the Southview 45-yard line. Hicks, quick drop back, hangs it down the right sideline. Incomplete as he overthrew Greg Williams.
That's Chad Wargo on the coverage again. Nice coverage. Really no place for the receiver to go, and he had to throw it more to the outside like he did, and that time too far outside. So that's going to bring up 4th down, another punting situation for Lorain.
So we'll see I believe it's our first punt for the Steelmen. Is that correct?
Right, you are.
And doing the kicking for Terry King's club, Josh Terry, standing at his own 41-yard line. William Nixon back deep for Southview. He's at his own 10. And the snap goes to Hicks. They run the fake. Hicks throws, and it's complete to the 30, to the 25, looking for room, and tripped up at the 25-yard line for Lorain High is Terry Summers.
Well, that was a very good play call. Nobody near Summers on that. Summers just simply ran a fly pattern, and he stopped after about 10 yards, turned around, and Hicks hit him.
First down and 10 for Lorain High as they run the fake punt, and Hicks hit Terry Summers. Tyree Whitaker and Donald Church in the I formation behind Hicks. First down and 10 at the same 26-yard line. Handoff Church. Church runs into a blocker. Now reverses his field, looking to get outside to the right to the 20, and ridden down at the 19-yard line. Dion Moy with the tackle.
Church is just one tough runner, Tim. He gets hit and he keeps the legs moving, bounces off a tackler, cuts to the outside, and again turns out would have been about a 1-yard gain into about a 6 or 7-yard gain.
They spot him down at the 19-yard line. Pickup of 7, second down and 3 as we're under 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Scott Hands in the ball game, 5'9" sophomore, splits out to the right. Greg Williams in a wing left. Again, I formation behind Tommy Hicks. Hicks pitches to Church. Church left side looking for a block, looks to get outside, nothing there. Moy dragged him down at the 21. Loss of 2 on the play.
Nice play by Moy. That's the first time that they've been able to stop Church from the scrimmage, or even from the kickoff return, doesn't matter tonight.
One thing about these two football clubs, they are both very, very young. Hicks, a sophomore quarterback. Tyree Whitaker is a junior fullback. Hands, the wide receiver that I mentioned just in the ball game, he's a sophomore. Young players. Sanjay Capers back in for Lorain High. Splits wide to the right on a 3rd down and 5. Williams goes in motion to the right. Misdirection play to Church out of the wing. Church bursts up the middle. 10-5 touchdown. A 21-yard touchdown run for Donald Church. And the Steelmen now lead it 12-0. 2:01 to go. First quarter of play for Church's second touchdown of the night.
34 yards now on the ground for Church, and Tim, that's the same play that was called back that Church ran for the touchdown. This time there's no penalties, and Church, instead of cutting outside, cut inside, and there was nobody there. It's almost as if Southview knew that Church was going to go to the outside. There's a couple guys out there, nobody up the middle though, and Church had himself an easy 6.
Maybe Terry King is listening to you, Al. He kept giving the ball to Donald Church.
And he scored.
Full house backfield behind Tommy Hicks as the Steelmen will go for 2. Hicks hands off left side and in for the 2-point conversion. I think that's Donald Church.
Yes, it is. And Church is, I'll tell you what, he looks like a man among boys. He just gets the ball and just bowled over the left side of the Southview defensive line. And now the Lorain team's up by 14.
14-0. 2:01 to go. First quarter of play. Lorain High with the lead. We'll be back from George Daniel Field in Lorain right after this. Picking it up for Southview is Adrian Johnson, and he's out over the 20 to about the 23-yard line. But we mentioned the likes of Gerald Clue, Jarrell Madison, Matt White, who we had last night at Vermillion, Dwayne Hawkins at Elyria West. Our first opportunity to see Donald Church, and I think you can put his name right up there with the rest of those guys.
Well, Church now over 700 yards on the ground for the season. And he scored touchdowns 10 and 11 tonight. A lot of production for Church.
First down and 10 for the Saints at their own 23-yard line. They trail in the football game 14-0. They're going to try to get some sort of offense going. They come out in a power I formation. Angle play action, rolling to the right, looking for some room, and he's ridden down at the 24-yard line. Greg Williams, I believe, came up and made the hit. But there were all sorts of white jerseys tracking down Roger Engel.
Well, once again, Southview trying to run outside to the right, and once again, nothing but white jerseys out there. They're going to give Engel a gain of a yard on that. He's lucky to get that.
And we've got an official timeout on the field. Tyree Whitaker for Lorain High. I believe has a helmet problem.
It almost looked like that could have been a broken play too, Tim. It looked like for a minute, like you said, a play-action pass, and there was nobody that was running a pattern. And again, nothing but Lorain jerseys out there, and Engel said, uh-oh, I got to get this thing underneath and see if I can gain a yard at least.
Second down and 9 as Engel did pick up 1 yard. Again, power I formation, and there's a big body back there in the backfield. I believe it's Miguel Gonzalez. Engel Hands off, lots of room, and out over the 30-yard line, although coughing up the football for Southview was Jason Oriano, but they're going to say he was down. Oriano had the football come squirting out of there, but his knee had touched. So Southview with a break as Lorain High had come up with that football.
Oriano, the type of guy that Southview likes to use a couple of different ways. They like to throw that quick hitter to him when he's lined up as a receiver, and also like to use him in the backfield. And there he gets a nice gain of about 7 yards. That's going to make up a third down and a long yard for Southview.
Third down and 1. Ball spotted at the 33-yard line. Stephon Jackson is now the deep back in the eye with Gonzalez and Adrian Johnson ahead of him. Engel hands off to Jackson. Jackson won't get the first down. He's thrown down at the 30-yard line. All sorts of Steelman there defensively. Leading the charge was Jody Coleman.
Also, Jeff Litz got a good hit on him to begin with, slowed him down a little bit, and after Litz hit him, that was the end for Jackson, and Jackson's going to end up losing a couple.
Boy, Dave Capel has to be tremendously frustrated on the Southview sideline. They're already down 14-0, and they just have not been able to put anything together offensively. Bibb on to punt again. Greg Williams for Lorain High standing at his own 43-yard line. And Southview's going to let the first quarter clock run out. So 12 minutes is in the book here at George Daniel Field in Lorain, 14-0. Lorain High leading after 1 quarter of play. We'll be back to bring you the second quarter right here on AM 930 WEOL Elyria Lorain. Right after his way onto the field for Southview. Had to pick up a couple of arm pads from Southview assistant coach Sam Clancy. Boy, what an intimidating figure on the Saints sideline. Good snap to Bibb, and he gets the kick away. Spiraling kick fielded by Williams at the 41-yard line. Looking for room up the middle, gets to the 50, to the Southview 49, and he's down right there.
It's again good coverage there by Southview. Kind of a low punt, but they were able to get down there and make sure that Lorain didn't reel off a big return. Again, great field position for the Steelmen. They're going to start in Southview territory, and I think they've started in Southview territory all but one drive so far tonight.
Battle of field position has definitely gone to Lorain High so far. Donald Church with 2 first-quarter touchdowns. He now has 11 on the year. Lorain High with a 14-0 lead, and this drive starts at the Saint 49-yard line. Split backfield behind Tommy Hicks, and now Williams comes in motion. Hicks runs the option play, pitches to Williams. He's going to throw a pass down the sideline, complete, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Scott Hands with the reception. The Steelmen with another score. There is a flag on the play. We'll wait and see what the call is.
That wasn't bad coverage either, Tim. Hans was covered pretty well back there. A flag is down. This may be interference against Southview, and that's what it is.
And the Steelman coaches up here in the press box celebrating as they hook up Greg Williams to Scott Hands, a 49-yard score. And it's now 20-0 with 11:24 to go, second quarter of play. That's a great call. Joe Knoll make that call? Who? Terry King made the call? Terry King with the call. That's a great call. Extra point attempt. Good snap and hold. Kick is up, and it is good. 21-0. Lorain High with the lead. 11:24 to go. First half of play. We'll be back from George Daniel Field in Lorain right after this. Well, Terry King digs into his bag of tricks, comes up with a halfback option pass, and Greg Williams throws a strike to Scott Hands of 49 yards, and it's now a 21-0 ball game. Stephon Jackson on the kickoff return for Southview. Looks to get outside to the 35, to the 40, and pushed out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Nice play made by Alvin Thomas for Lorain High. Also over there was Tyree Whitaker.
Well, Stephon Jackson now for Southview has 4 rushing attempts and -3 yards unofficially. So that tells you basically how Southview's been going on offense. They can't seem to get anything going.
Well, Lorain High really put it to Admiral King last week, and they're doing the same to Southview here tonight. I think they're demonstrating who the best football team is in the city of Lorain right now. Single back behind Roger Engel. First down and 10 for Southview at the 41-yard line. Engel back to pass. Looks, hangs it deep down the left sideline, and there's nobody within 20 yards of the football. Oriano had broken off his pattern. And Roger Engel comes over to Oriano and says, "Where were you?"
And now he's pointing to the sideline saying, "I was running a down and out. I wasn't running a post."
Miscommunication. 2nd down and 10. Hey, don't forget, tomorrow night right here on WEOL, and we're certainly proud to have it, our first Cleveland Cavs game with Joe Tate, the voice of the Cavs, bringing you all the action. Exhibition contest as they take on the New Jersey Nets. 7 o'clock airtime right here on WEOL. Engel gives it on the reverse to Nixon. Nixon with no room, flung down at the 32-yard line. What a great defensive play made by Deshaun Lynn. 270-pound sophomore. Boy, he threw Nixon down like a wet load of wash.
And Lynn fought off a tackler on that and did a great job, stayed home and said shut off a blocker, and that's going to be a loss of 6 yards.
3rd down and 16 at the 35-yard line. 10:35 to go first half, a half that has been dominated by the Lorain High Steelmen. Twins to the left and the right. 4 wide receivers in the ball game for Southview. Engel back to pass. Steps up in the pocket, looking for someone to throw to. Hangs it out there to Nixon. Nixon with the reception at the 40, gets to the 45. Collar down at the 47-yard line. And we got a flag from the back judge.
That could be a 15-yarder too, because he got him right up on the head there with the clothesline.
Tim Begaznik saw it. Immediately signaled the face masking call.
They're going to get him for the personal foul. That's they're going to get him 15 for the clothesline. So there's a break for Southview. 3rd down and 16, and really, in fairness to the quarterback for Southview, Roger Engel, he has had no time to throw the ball. Didn't there either. The blitz was coming, 5 guys in his face right away. He stepped out of the pocket, rolled to the right, and bought enough time to find his receiver, William Nixon. Nixon, nice little run after the catch. He picked up about 12 or 13 yards, still about 4 short from the first down, but that 15 is going to give him an automatic first down at the 38-yard line now of Lorain.
Al, as you mentioned, a big break for the Saints. They need some positive things to happen right here. They trail 21-0. 1st down and 10 at the Steelman 38-yard line after the face masking penalty. Engel back to pass. Looks, throws it out, and it's intercepted. And he could go all the way. Sanjay Capers at the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Sanjay Capers with the interception return for the score. And Lorain High now leads it 27-0. 10:02 to go, first half of play.
Read that one all the way, Tim. Sanjay Capers stepped right in front of the receiver, and there was no one in between him and the end zone. And Lorain is on their way to a blowout. Right? Man.
I would say it was about 70 yards. I'm not exactly sure. We'll check during the break. I think Sanjay picked it off at about the 30-yard line. 27-0 with 10:02 to go. First half of play. Coming on to attempt the extra point, Matt Summers. Adam Lucas to hold. Good snap and hold, and the kick is no good. Boy, a great rush was put on by Adrian Johnson along with Quincy Barbie. But the Steelmen 27-0 over Southview, and the Saints are self-destructing over here at George Daniel Field in Lorain. We'll be back right after this. Lorain. Wally Minnis and I were talking about the Lorain High Steelmen last night during our Friday football forecast, and there's not a team in the Erie Shore Conference that wants to play this club, and we're finding out tonight why that is. An explosive bunch, big plays, offensively, defensively, and special team-wise. Stephon Jackson on the kickoff return for Southview, looking for room up the middle, tripped up, and down he goes at about the 18-yard line.
Nice play there by the Lorain man there on coverage. That was Greg Williams who made the shoestring tackle and couldn't even make it back to the 20-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and 10 from about the 18. That's where Southview will go on offense. And we talked about field position, Tim, and Southview really hasn't gotten good field position at all to start their drives, while Lorain, as we said, had basically one possession in their own half of the field, and that was about the 46-yard line.
Sanjay Capers credited with a 65-yard interception return for that touchdown. I thought he was a little bit deeper than that, but say he picked it off at about the 35. Engel on first down. Quarterback draw comes up the middle. Nice hole, and he gets out to about the 30-yard line. First down for the Saints.
Good play call there. Wide open hole. Engel takes it for about 12 yards, and that was the longest gain from scrimmage tonight for Southview.
Maybe for our TV viewers, Bob Quinley can run the replay on that and tell us what the yardage was. First down and 10 for the Saints at their own 30-yard line. They trail 27-0. 4 wide receivers in the ball game, 2 to the right, 2 to the left, with Adrian Johnson all alone behind Roger Engel. Now Nixon jogs in motion to the left. Handoff goes to Johnson, and he powers his way to about the 31. Picked up a yard. Making the tackle for Lorain High, I believe, was Jody Coleman. Excuse me, John Barlow in on the stop for Lorain High. Second down and 9. Lorain High with big play capability, and they've demonstrated it in all 3 aspects of the football game tonight. Second down and 9 from the 31-yard line. Johnson again the single back behind Roger Engel. Engel straight drop back, steps up, looking for room to run, and there isn't any. Tripped up at the 33-yard line.
Again, that's great pressure by Lorain. They had John Barlow in there, and also in pressuring the quarterback was, well, let's see, we just lost his number because in the huddle he got behind the fellow I want to talk to, Adam Lucas as well. So they're getting pressure on Engel, not giving him time at all to set up and look downfield.
Marco Stevens now in the game for Southview. Splits to the left along with Oriano. Nixon and Kevin Johnston are to the right. Oriano jogs in motion to the right. Engel on a draw play, hands off to Johnson. He comes right up the middle, and not much room as he's stacked up at the 34-yard line. Flags fly on the play. I believe Oriano cut up field about a split second early.
Yeah, that's what happened, Tim. And Lorain will probably decline this and make it 4th down.
Illegal motion against Southview, and as Al said, Steelman will decline the penalty because the draw play comes up far short of the first down. Our next Coal-Meyer Gridiron Clash right here on AM 930 WEOL comes your way next Friday night. Lorain County Conference matchup. Wellington will be at Elyria West. Another doubleheader weekend next weekend. Saturday night, an Erie Shore Conference game as Midview will be at Elyria to take on the Pioneers. We'll have to ask Don Richardson about Admiral King's use of the lonesome polecat offense last night.
Almost worked, too.
Yeah, Bibb punts it away, bangs it down the right sideline, and it rolls inside the 40 to about the 37-yard line. Greg Williams doesn't field it for Lorain High, and the Saints down it there.
Now, Williams wanted to grab it and run a few, and he kept seeing him inching toward the football, and he thought better of it and said, well, when the ball hits the ground, you're not supposed to pick it up, so I'll let it go. And with the offense that Lorain has exhibited, as well as, well, you said, Tim, all 3 aspects, special teams and defense, but the guy like Church on offense, I think I'd make sure that we had the ball for him to run it.
You're really reiterating that point, aren't you? Give that ball to Donald Church. All right. First down and 10 for Lorain High at the 37-yard line. And Church is deep in the eye behind Tom Hicks, the sophomore quarterback. London Chapman is in a wing left, and Church lurched out of his stance. Handoff goes to Church. Big hold to the 50, to the 45, to the 40 of Southview. Barrels his way to the 36-yard line, but it'll go for naught. Donald Church lurched out of his stance, and they'll call illegal procedure against Lorain High.
And, Tim, you're a poet, and you don't know it. Church lurched.
Well, you know, all sorts of talents up here that you guys aren't aware of. But I'll try not to demonstrate any more of them before the night is over.
Thank you.
Illegal motion against the Steelman. 5-yard penalty makes it first down and 15.
It's going to wipe out a 29-yard run by Church.
Checking in with the play is Sanjay Capers. Of course, he had the 65-yard interception return for the touchdown. He splits to the left. And Lorain High puts London Chapman in a wing left, I formation behind Tommy Hicks, the sophomore. Hicks, fake handoff to Church, rolling to the left. looks, throws it over the middle, complete to Chapman. Chapman to the 45, to the 50, and steps out of bounds right in front of the Lorain High bench.
And that should be enough for a first down. Nice play there by Chapman after he caught the ball. He avoided a tackler at about the 42-yard line and cut upfield for 10 more yards.
Well, they're actually going to say his foot went out of bounds at the Lorain High 48-yard line, but that's still enough for a Steelman first down. 6:43 to go second quarter. It has been all Steelman, 27-0. I formation behind Hicks. Hicks hands off to Church. Church comes right up the middle, just barrels his way down to the Southview 43. Pickup of about 9. Second down and 1. At the bottom of the pile for the Saints was Tito Gonzalez.
43 yards now from scrimmage for Church.
Boy, it seems like a lot more than that.
And like kickoff return for 92 won't go into those stats, but and he had a couple called back by penalties too.
Sanjay Capers now comes wide to the right. Greg Williams in a wing right. Again, I formation behind Hicks. Hicks drops back to pass. Pump fake. Now hangs it deep down the right sideline. Great catch by Williams as he's knocked out of bounds at the 24-yard line of Southview. That was a tremendous grab by Greg Williams.
That sure was. I'll tell you what, that was even a little bit underthrown there by Hicks. If he could have thrown it more up towards the field, I bet you Williams there could have had himself a touchdown. He got behind the defense, had about a step and a half on the defender, and he made a great catch and was able to keep his concentration and keep a foot in bounds as well.
Scott Hands now in the ball game, splits wide to the left. First down and 10 for Lorain High at the Southview 24-yard line. Hicks hands off to Church. Church right side. Dion Moy stacks him up at the 22.
Nice play by Moy, getting in there saying, well, this time, Donald, we're only going to let you get a yard or two.
Second down and 8 as we'll give Church 2 on that carry. I mentioned Wellington and Elyria West on Friday night next week with Midview at Elyria on Saturday night. Don't forget our football week actually kicks off on Monday with the WEOL Grouchos Monday Night Sports Spotlight with yours truly and Dan Fike at Grouchos at routes 301 and 6 in Sheffield Lake. Handoff Church left side, tries to break a tackle and he can't, gets down to about the 20-yard line.
Had a hole there for a moment and it closed up on him quickly. It's going to bring up about a 3rd down and 6 now for Lorain.
See what Terry King comes up with here. Well, he's got all sorts of weapons to utilize. If you're the Southview defensive coordinator, you've got to really be scratching your head wondering what's coming next. Scott Hand splits to the left, well, just about in the middle of the field. Chapman and Church are behind Hicks. Hicks, quick drop, looks, throws, and he overthrew Hands, who was cutting over the middle.
Hands was open on that as well.
Now 4th down and 6 from the 20. Well, Lorain High does have the wind at their back as it's going left to right along your radio dial, which is the same way Lorain High is traveling, so they may elect to try a field goal here of about 37 yards. Tim Pogaznik says yes, they are.
He spotted the kicker out in the field there.
Matt Summers, Adam Lucas will hold at about the 27, so it will be a 37-yard attempt. Ball right in the middle of the field. Good snap and hold. Kick is up, and it's no good as it falls far short in the left side of the end zone. So Lucas misses the 37-yarder, so it's still a 27-0 Lorain High lead.
Yeah, he just shanked that one. Everything was good. The snap was good. The hold was good, and Lucas kind of looked up at Summers and said, what happened? And Matt had his head down saying, I don't know.
So Southview's offense will get it back. First down and 10 at their own 20-yard line. 4:37 to go. First half of play. And I'm sure right here, Dave Capel just wants to try to establish something positive for his football team before they go into the locker room.
Yeah, you're down 27-0. You're not going to get it all back on one drive anyway. And still enough time to get a decent drive here and perhaps punch one in for 6.
Kevin Johnston and Oriano are to the left. Engel hands off. Looking for room and not finding any is Orlando Pagan. He may have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Second down and 10. Checking in now for Southview, Dion Moy. I don't think we've seen him on the offensive side of the football tonight. Lines up as a wide receiver, wide to the right. Just the short side of the field. They run trips to the left. Oh no, Oriano's just coming out of the ball game. Sorry about that.
And they're going to get that for a late substitution. I don't think you can do that, Tim.
I was going to say, Oriano just jogging off the field. It actually looked like he was lining up in a trips formation to the left. He just kept coming to the sideline. Well, they called encroachment against Oriano. He had to cross the line of scrimmage to get to the Southview sideline. I don't know anybody else that was offside.
Well, I can almost guarantee you, Tim, that wasn't going to be a trick play. I think he just realized, hey, there's 12 guys out here. I better get off the field, and decided that a little bit too late.
And here come Johnston and Nixon to the left. Moy split to the right, I formation behind Roger Engel. Engel, quick drop, pump fake, drops the football, and he fell on it back at about the 10-yard line. Inside the 10, actually.
And that actually went off the back of his offensive lineman there. Chris Rewalk was backing up on the pass block, and Roger Engel's arm on the pump went through, and the ball hit his back, and that's what caused him to lose it. So it's going to be 3rd down and long.
Well, the wheels have really come off here in the first half for Southview. I would not want to be in that St. locker room at the half. Johnston and Oriano come to the left. Dion Moy again to the right. I formation behind Roger Engel. 3rd and 21 from the 9-yard line. Engel rolling to the left at the goal line. Looking, throws it down the field, and it's incomplete. Sanjay Capers almost had a diving interception at the 20-yard line.
Well, he was looking for Byron Buxton on that. It was running basically an out pattern right around the 20-yard line. Would not have been enough for a first down. And again, Engel pressured out of the pocket, just looking to get rid of that ball. And if he got it up just a little bit more, Capers would have had the interception. So it's a good thing Engel didn't get anything more on that throw for Southview. And with 3:02 to go here in the first half, Lorain's going to get it back, and they could put another one on the board before halftime.
They will get great field position again. There's no doubt about that. Bibb standing in his own end zone, getting set to punt the football away. Greg Williams at his own 40, or at the Southview 40, to receive it. Good snap, and the rush is on. Bibb gets the kick away. Williams fields it on the fly at the 35, gets to the 30, and he stood up right there, driven backwards all the way back to the 35-yard line. Actually never went down. But Williams with a nice return actually got it to the Southview 25-yard line.
Now, if there's one bright spot you can look for in Southview, it's been their punt coverage. Kickoff coverage leaves something to be desired, I guess, with that kickoff return, but I'll tell you what, those punts have been kind of short and a little bit low, but the coverage team has gotten down there. Still, great field position for Lorain. They have the ball the 25-yard line.
Not trying to be sarcastic, really, but they've had a lot of practice at it. They've done nothing but punt the football tonight. Offensively, they just have not been able to establish anything. Southview takes a timeout. 2:39 to go. First half of play, 27-0. Lorain High with the lead, and as Al mentioned, they may punch another one in before the half is up. We shall see. We'll be back from George Daniel Field. George Daniel Field, pitch goes to Church, left side, 20, 15, 10, and out of bounds, close to the 10-yard line.
William Nixon tried to come up and make the hit for Southview, and all he basically did was slow him down a little bit, and enough to let some help get over there and force Church out of bounds after a 15-yard gain. But poor Nixon only weighs 140 pounds, and Church weighs 195.
Donald Church did pick up the first down. First down and 10 from the 11-yard line. Lorain High can pick up a first down without a touchdown. I formation behind Hicks. Hands off Church. Church left side to the 5, tripped up at about the 4-yard line.
Same play, running that left side around the left end, and they keep getting yardage off that. That's even the short end of the field. Usually offenses like to run to the wide side of the field, but they keep banging it to the left side and the right side of that Southview defense.
Second down and 3 from the 4. And now Lorain High lines up in a full house backfield. Hicks, hands off. London Chapman barrels his way up the middle. Touchdown! London Chapman goes right up the middle. It wasn't fancy, but he just bowled his way into the end zone. And it's now a 33-0 Lorain High lead with 1:54 to go in the first half.
Power football for Lorain. Really doesn't matter who you give it to. That offensive line is doing a good job of moving Southview backwards, and London Chapman just takes the ball, protects it, holds on to it, and plunges over for the touchdown.
London Chapman, a 240-pound senior. And as I mentioned, it certainly wasn't pretty, but he just rumbled his way into pay dirt. He's a big boy for Terry King. Matt Summers to attempt the extra point. He's 1 of 3 on the night. Adam Lucas to hold. Good snap and hold. Kick is up, and it is good. Summers, boom, that one through. 34-0, 1:54 to go. Second quarter of play here at George Daniel Field in Lorain. We'll be back right after this. And I bet Janice hopes so too. Kickoff again bobbled by Southview. William Nixon with the football. Looking for room left side. Not much there. Down he goes at the 20-yard line.
You know, Southview here has to be careful so they don't find themselves giving the ball back to Lorain and letting them get another score before halftime with 1:47 to go. And you got to be realistic here. Is that enough time for Southview to get down to the other side of the field and what they've done so far in the first half? No, it's not.
If you're Dave Capel, what in the world do you tell your football team at the half? If they're obviously down and despondent over their first half performance as it is, do you lay into them or you just pretty much say, forget it? Let's go out and play 2 more quarters. Who knows? That's why he's the head coach and I'm the broadcaster. I formation behind Roger Engel, first down. Engel gives it to Oriano on the reverse. Gets away from Adam Lucas, looking to get outside. No room. Finally flung down back at about the 11-yard line.
Well, there's just no blocking for the Southview backs at all. They get them to the outside, and there's always 4 or 5 Lorain white shirts around. There's not a blue shirt to be seen except for the guy with the ball.
I believe London Chapman made the tackle.
It's going to be a 7-yard loss.
Chapman, who just scored the touchdown for Lorain High, his second of the year. 34-0 Steelman. Oriano and Byron Buxton along with Nixon all come to the left with Dion Moy to the right. And again, Oriano again was coming off the football field. Well, he takes a while. Engel back to pass, rolling left, looking, nobody to throw to, and he finally tried to get it to Orlando Pagan as he was flung to the ground. Engel, that is, back near the goal line.
That time Mike Shue applied the pressure for Lorain. He threw down Roger Engel, and Engel just got the pass off. And again, Tim, Engel has no time back there to look, at least take a look down and see what he's got open. He's under so much pressure, and he can't stay in the pocket. He's got to be flushed out, and that time he got hit, and like we said, again, just got the pass off.
3rd down and 17 from the 13-yard line. 28 seconds to go in the first half. Oriano and Buxton are to the left with Dion Moy to the right. I formation behind Engel. Engel hands off on the draw play, and there isn't any room at all. Out to the 14-yard line, I believe, was Pagan. And Lorain High is going to stop that clock with 21 seconds to go in the half. They want to force Southview to punt.
Now leading 34-0 already. I guess they want another touchdown here. Kind of rare, Tim, when you see a team leading 34-0, unless it's in the NFL with 21 seconds left, they would take a timeout and try to get another one.
Well, I'm going to try to put some pressure on Bibb here as he'll punt it away from his own goal line. It doesn't look like anybody's going to drop back deep for Lorain High, so they may just rush 11 men to the punter.
Oh, I'd put 10 men up and put 1 guy back because, as we talked about, the punts really have not been that deep. And even if they don't block it, they're still going to get the ball basically inside the 30-yard line after the return. And you try to kick a field goal from there. You can run a couple plays from scrimmage.
Got plenty of time with 21 seconds to go in the first half.
And they do put Greg Williams back. And they're going to put, let's see here, looks like 9 guys up at the line of scrimmage.
Bibb standing right at the goal line. Williams standing at the 38. And now he inches up to about the 36-yard line. High snap. Bibb got it down and got the kick away. Lucas almost blocked it. Punt fielded at the 39-yard line by Williams. Looking for room. Gets to the 35. Breaks a couple of tackles. Plenty of Saints in pursuit, though, and down he goes back at the 38-yard line. again, Al, excellent punt coverage by the Saints.
Sure was, and down there for the Saints was Chad Wargo and a host of other players, also William Nixon in on the tackle for Southview. So, well, the punt coverage is one thing they won't have to work on in practice this week. It's everything else, I guess. Well, let's see if you're the Lorain High coach. What do you do here? If you're Terry King, Tim, do you throw one pass for the end zone, or do you maybe throw a 10-yard pass and set up a field goal?
You watch the clock run out.
You do that, I guess.
The first half has come.
Well, that takes care of that.
The first half has come to an end. See, they wind the clock. I didn't know if you were aware of that or not.
I am now. They don't do that in college.
Oh, my. Well, a little chuckle here to close out the second quarter of play. Basically, it has been a laugher for Lorain High. They lead it 34-0 at the half over the Southview Saints when...
And speaking of the man of steel,
We'll check on that. Lorain High kicks off to start the second half of play. Summers into the football. It's fielded by William Nixon, and he makes his way out to the 29-yard line. So the Saints have it first down and 10, trailing 34-0 as the second half is just underway. Here on AM 930 WEOL, Elyria, Lorain. Roger Engel again brings the Saint offense out. We've seen a variety of formations out of Southview here in the ball game tonight. They've gone power I, they've gone single back. And here they line up in a regular I formation. Stephon Jackson, the lead back. Engel rolling to the right, gets by Adam Lucas, looking downfield, still looking, throws incomplete. His intended receiver was Joey Miranda at about the 46-yard line.
And Miranda was open there early on the play. I think that time Engel held the ball just a little bit too long. He was rolling out, and Miranda was following him to the left here as he was running that down and out pattern. If he'd have thrown it about 2 seconds sooner, I think Miranda would have had a good chance of catching that.
Second down and 10 from the 30-yard line. Again, Southview trailing in the football game 34-0. Stephon Jackson and Adrian Johnson are behind Roger Engel. Twins to the left, single wide receiver to the right. Engel under center, Tito Gonzalez, handoff right up the middle, looking for room is Stephon Jackson, and he got to about the 35-yard line, pickup of 5. That will make it third down and 5. Deion Moy now checks into the ball game for the Saints. And coming out is Joey Miranda.
Well, Southview here has at least an attainable third down. They didn't really have all. I can't remember them having a third down in less than 10 in the first half, Tim, so maybe they can get a third down here and give their offense a little boost.
Again, I think Dave Capel right here is just looking for something positive to build on, not only for the remainder of this game, but going into practice next week. I formation on third down and 5 from the 35-yard line. Pitch goes to Johnson, looking for room left side, blasts his way to about the 38, and he'll be a couple yards shy of the first down. Didn't quite get there. That'll make it 4th and 2. And William Nixon is coming onto the field. Well, now they move that ball back to about the 37. It'll be 4th and 3.
And they're going to go for it, Tim, and you might as well. Down 34-0, and basically this has been their best drive, so to say, the entire game. So 4th down and 2. What the heck? Go for it.
Boy, if you don't get it, though, you're giving the ball to Lorain High in great shape again. But as you say, you're down 34-0. I formation behind Roger Engel. Stephon Jackson and Adrian Johnson. Handoff Johnson looking for room. Did he get there? I believe he did on second effort. Got just to the 40-yard line. Nice running by Adrian Johnson because he was originally hit at about the line of scrimmage. Broke that tackle off and struggled forward and made it to that first down marker.
Yeah, that was just straight ahead power football. And like you said, Tim, it was the second effort of Adrian Johnson there. And that's going to give Southview a first down now from their own 40-yard line. And again, maybe something to build on here. Going for it on 4th down and getting it.
Buxton and Oriano come to the right. Deion Moy is split to the left. I formation behind Roger Engel. Junior quarterback. Hands off. Adrian Johnson looking for room right side. Tripped up from behind. Nice defensive play made by Greg Williams of Lorain High. Adrian Johnson, if he had picked up a head of steam, would have been like a runaway locomotive. But Greg Williams got him from behind at the 43-yard line.
Right you are. That was a nice tackle by Williams. If he doesn't get him, that's at least 10 more yards for Johnson because they only had the safeties back and they were about at midfield. That's where Johnson needed to get for a first down. So a nice play there by Greg Williams. Nice solo tackle.
Williams and Terry Summers, along with Alvin Thomas and Sanjay Capers, make up the defensive backfield for Lorain High, with Jody Coleman, London Chapman, and Tyree Whitaker, the linebackers. 2nd down and 7. Engel throws it out to Nixon, and he's immediately hit at the 41-yard line. Sanjay Capers came up and belted him.
That play has not worked all night, Tim. I think they have to get rid of that. What they're doing is they're just giving the receiver the ball right where he's at, and Lorain is not fooled at all. The defensive backs are very close to the receivers. They're not backing off them. That's a play you want to run when Lorain's sitting back in his zone. Lorain's not doing that. They're up on the receivers. They're still running that play, and that time that's for negative yardage.
Sanjay Capers, if he had been a step quicker, may have had the pick and had another interception return for the touchdown. 3rd down and 8 from the 42-yard line. Engel back to pass. Here comes the heat. He gets away. No, he doesn't. Tripped up back at the 29-yard line. Making the hit was Jody Coleman. I thought Engel was going to get away from him, but Jody Coleman tripped him up by the ankle.
Jody just got his pinky out there, it looked like, and Engel for a second there got away, and then he lost his footing and went down. That's going to be a big loss, about 15 yards, all the way back to the 28-yard line. And now Southview is going to have to once again bring their punting unit on.
4th down and 22. Boy, Roger Engel is hot as he comes over to the sideline for Southview. Been a frustrating night for the quarterback for the Saints. Bibb will punt it away. Greg Williams standing at his own 40 for Lorain High. And the Steelman with the return on. Bibb with a nice kick. High spiraling kick. Fielded at the 31-yard line. Williams comes up the middle to the 40 to the 45 and gets to about the 48-yard line.
Great punt by Bibb on that. He had absolutely no rush at all. Had time to set himself up and let fly with one, and that's what he did. And that time the punt coverage was actually the worst it's been all night, Tim, and that's when the punt team had time to get down there.
They've outkicked his coverage a little bit. First down and 10 for the Steelmen at their own 49-yard line. Just under 8 minutes to go. Third quarter of play. Lorain High comfortably ahead in this one. It's 34-0. I formation behind Tom Hicks, the sophomore quarterback for the Steelmen. Hands off to Church. Church looking for room left side. There isn't any. Down he goes under a swarm of blue jerseys at the 50-yard line. At the bottom of the pile, hanging on to make the tackle for Southview, was Eliezer Lozada.
That's his 11th carry already for Church. And now he has 76 yards on the night, 2 touchdowns, 1 rush and the other on a 96-yard touchdown kickoff run from the very first play of the ball game.
Sanjay Caper is now in the game, splits to the left. Greg Williams is in a wing right. Again, Tyree Whitaker and Donald Church in the eye behind Hicks. Misdirection play goes to Williams. All sorts of room. He's to the 40. He's to the 30, and he's gone. Greg Williams will race 50 yards for the touchdown. It's now 40-0 Lorain High. Exactly 7 minutes to go. Third quarter of play for Greg Williams. His first touchdown of the night. His 4th on the year.
First carry of the night, too, for Greg Williams, Tim, and that's the same exact play that they ran for a touchdown twice with Donald Church. One was called back for a penalty. It's that trap play up the middle, and that has worked both, or now 3 times, twice officially for Lorain. That time it's Greg Williams, and that was just a foot race between he and William Nixon. And once he got to about the 30-yard line, it was him and Nixon, and he pulled away by about 5 yards. Great run.
Summers to attempt the extra point. 40-0. The Steelmen with the lead. Lucas to hold. Good snap and hold. The kick is up, and it is good. 41-0. Exactly 7 minutes to go. Third quarter of play here at George Daniel. We'll be back right after this. Third quarter. Everybody has gotten in on the act for Lorain High. Don Church with 2 touchdowns. Scott Hands, Sanjay Capers, London Chapman, and now Greg Williams with 1 each. And as we mentioned earlier, they've done it in all 3 phases of the football game. Offense, special teams, and defense.
Big plays on each aspect too, Tim.
Very impressive performance. Summers kicks off. Short kick. Fielded at the 25-yard line by Adrian Johnson. Johnson blasts his way out to about the 32, and there's Greg Williams in on the tackle.
There's just not a lot of blocking at all for Southview. We talked about this on offense, and there again on kickoff returns. Basically, the return guy was left to, fend for himself on that.
Tell you what, at the end of tonight's ball game, well, Donald Church certainly will be at the forefront. Should be an interesting discussion, though, about our WEOL Chronicle Telegram player of the game.
A lot of big plays.
A lot of players for Lorain High have had good nights. Well, Southview still has Engel in there at quarterback, along with Stephon Jackson and Adrian Johnson behind him in the eye. Pitch goes to Johnson. Johnson looks like he wants to throw the football. Adam Lucas won't let him. Flings him down at the 23-yard line. And then coming up for good measure for Lorain High was Ruben Belisario.
And give credit to the secondary of Lorain there as well. Alvin Thomas and Greg Williams, and also the safety man back there, number 91, that's Terry Summers. Those guys were not full at all. They stayed home, and so even if Adrian Johnson would have had a shot at throwing the ball, he would have had no one to throw to. That's because Lorain was staying home on that, and once again, Lorain just makes the right play.
Byron Buxton and Jason Oriano split to the left. Dion Moyes to the right on a 2nd down and 19. Ball spotted at the 24-yard line. I formation behind Engel. Fake handoff. Rolls to the left. Here comes the heat, and down he goes, way back at the 5-yard line.
And I think that was Mike Shue or else Jody Coleman. Making a number on him.
It was Deshaun Lind.
Well, neither one.
The 270-pound sophomore defensive end. He tracked Engel down all the way back at the 5.
Well, they have to get to the 44-yard line for a first down. We're going to have a 3rd down and 39, I believe.
I mentioned earlier that the wheels had fallen off for Southview. I think the bumpers and the fenders and everything else is coming off, too. It's just been a horrible night for the Saints.
Well, Engel's just had no time, and the backs have had really no blocking. And when you don't have that, you can't get anything going on offense.
3rd and about 40 yards to go. Engel in the shadows of his own goalpost. And he simply hands off to Jackson. Jackson with some room gets to about the 17-yard line, and then he's nailed right there. Coming up to make the hit was Alvin Thomas for Lorain High.
Big hole that time for Jackson. That was not the biggest he's had all night, and he got a nice gain out of that for Southview. However, when you have 40 yards to go, a 15-yard run isn't going to do much for you.
4:45 and the clock running here in the third quarter of play. Bibb will once again punt it away. You keeping track of punts over there?
I think this is punt number 7.
I believe so.
Southview, if my calculations are correct.
And Williams at his own 50-yard line, or the 50. There isn't really anybody's 50. Comes up and fields the ball at the 43. Has some room. He's to the 35, to the 30, looking to get outside, and down he goes right at the 30-yard line. It looked as though Greg Williams had a notion to lateral the football to Alvin Thomas, but he wisely held on to it, and down he went at the 30-yard line.
And Tim, a very bright spot for Southview has been Chad Wargo. Once again, great solo tackle. If he doesn't make that tackle, that's a touchdown. And Chad Wargo wrapped him up low, held onto his legs, and when you do that, you can't go anywhere. And so Wargo has made some big tackles. So this score would be even worse than what it is.
Wargo, another one of those young players tonight, 5'10" sophomore for Southview. Hicks hands off to Church. Church right side, breaks away from a tackle, tries to break away from another, and he's flung down at the 26.
Once again, breaks 3 tackles. Church is one of those guys. He'll take a hit, just spin off him, keep the legs going, hit again, spin off him again, and keep the legs going, and that's going to gain yards for you. And Church again managed to get something where it looked like there was really nothing there.
2nd down and 7 as Don Church picked up 3. 3.5 minutes to go in the quarter. 41-0, Lorain High. So the Steelmen will win the city championship here in Lorain this year. Hicks pitches to Church. Church left side, dances over a tackler and gets down to about the 21-yard line. Pickup of about 5.
Adrian Johnson on the stop for Southview that time, and Adrian took on Church, and nice solo tackle for him.
My good buddy Ray may know the answer to this question. When was the last time Lorain High won the city championship? Beating both Southview and Admiral King. 92? 1992. See, Ray has all the answers. He bleeds black and gold.
Ray's the man.
3rd and 2 from the 22-yard line. Handoff Church comes right up the middle, breaks a couple of tackles, still trying to break another, and he can't, but he picks up the first down as he gets to the 15-yard line. He even knows the scores. They beat Southview that year 28-6, and they beat Admiral King 27-7.
Well, Donald Church is working on that 100-yard night. He now has 92 yards on 14 carries. And the way Lorain's going now, and with the 41-0 lead, I would think it's safe to assume he's going to get a few more chances at it.
1st down and 10 from the 15-yard line. Sanjay Capers goes wide to the right. London Chapman is now the lone back behind Hicks. Double wing formation. Here's that misdirection play. Church out of the wing left, barrels his way inside the 10 down to about the 5-yard line.
That's a really great play there, Tim, because that play call, because the running back has 2 options. He can either cut it outside or cut it back inside, and we've seen touchdowns run both ways tonight for Lorain. That time Church elected to go inside, and he picked up 9 yards on it.
Just shy of the 1st down. 2nd down and 1. Ball spotted at the 6-yard line.
And it's going to put him over 100 yards. I have him for 101 yards now on 15 carries.
London Chapman and Donald Church in the eye behind Tommy Hicks. Hicks hands off. Church left side, cuts it back up the middle, touchdown as he leaps into the end zone. That was a pretty run by Donald Church because the hole wasn't there, and he just did it all on his own as he cut it back up the middle and went into the end zone. It is now 47-0. Donald Church with his 3rd touchdown of the night, and that gives him a dozen on the 94 campaign. 1:40 to go in the quarter.
What can you say, Tim? Another great run by Church. Really nothing there, as you said, and he just made something out of nothing and got himself another TD.
6-yard run. Summers on to attempt the extra point. Lucas to hold. There's the snap, and flags fly before Summers is able to get the kick away. He actually did, but they'll blow it dead.
We're going to have to get Donald Church a hat, Tim, for the hat trick.
Oh, that's good. And there is a Saint a little bit shaken up on the play. Now he jumps up and says he's all right. Greg Bryant. Call will obviously go against Southview. Encroachment. So Summers will try it again. Ray's going to pass me notes all night, I guess. Gee, I feel like I'm in a classroom with him. Second time this year that Donald Church has had 3 touchdowns in a football game. Summers' extra point is good. He gets barreled into by Quincy Barbie for Southview, and they may call roughing the kicker and assess it on the kickoff. We'll tell you about that when we come back. 48-0, Lorain High roughing the kicker on Southview after the extra point. So Lorain High will kick off from Southview's 45-yard line. Not sure how much more we can add to this football game, Al.
Well, I've already run out of squares on my score sheet here for Donald Church.
It's just been total domination by the guys in white, black, and gold. Summers to kick off, stutters to the football, and now drives it in the air and simply sails it out of the end zone. William Nixon just stood at the goal line and watched it fly over his head. Well, you have to wonder at what point in this football game will we start seeing literally the JV version of it.
That reminds me of a story here, Tim. Well, not here, but in college football about 15 years ago, there was a team that got 3 unsportsmanlike penalties, and it happened in succession, so they ended up on the 15-yard line. They were kicking off. What do you do from the 15-yard line when you kick off?
Onside kick.
That's right. But you know what happened? The onside kick went in the end zone and it came out to the 20. No lie.
Did it really? That's a great story. Well, you could squib kick.
Yeah.
Well, we do have a flag on the kickoff. And they're going to mark it. Where are they going to bring this football out to?
Now they're going to mark off 15, it looks like, so it's going to go back to the 40, and we're going to have a real kickoff.
I believe we had an unsportsmanlike call against Lorain High.
Well, they did put both hands. I think that's illegal participation, maybe. Do they have an extra player on the field, perhaps? 12
That could
minutes?
be. I didn't see the call, so.
I guess that is 15 yards in high school, so that's going to.
I knew sooner or later Ray was going to do that tonight. He's talking to me. Ray, you got to write it, my friend. I can't hear you unless you got a voice into my headset here. Like Big Al to my left. I think the Lord Tim Pagasnik doesn't have one. Squib kick.
We're going to have another flag.
Bounces out of bounds at about the 25-yard line.
Well,
flag down over there.
And Tim, we've played about, 5 minutes worth of football here. Now 1 second has gone off that clock because nobody's touched the ball.
Tell me about it. Man, oh man. And
they can
kick sails out of bounds, so that will give Southview the ball at the 35-yard line.
I was going to say they can at least take this one in play.
Well, let's see what Dave Capel elects to do here.
Well, that whole mess does benefit Southview. They would have started at their own 20, and now they get to start at their own 35.
So they actually picked up the 15 yards that were penalized against Lorain High.
Dude, they didn't have to kick it over. They should just get them the 15 yards.
That's exactly right. I formation behind Roger Engel. First down and 10 from the 35-yard line. Engel gives it to Oriano on a reverse. Oriano looking for room right side. Tries to get outside. Still on his feet at the 35 and finally driven down at the 33-yard line. And Greg Williams over there to make the tackle for the Steelman.
You know, in the book, that's going to look as a minus yard for Oriano, but that was a great individual effort there. He had no blockers. He stiff-armed one tackler, spun off another, and almost turned that upfield for a gain. He just couldn't get away from the last man there.
It's a scary feeling when you're at the back. You have nobody in front of you to help you out. You're just trying to stutter step to get around any of those white jerseys that are coming at you. Moy goes to the right. Nixon and Buxton are to the left. I formation behind Engel on a second down and 11 from the 34-yard line. Under a minute to go. Handoff Jackson. Big hole! And Jackson gets out to the 45-yard line. They may actually spot his knee down at the 44, about a yard shy of the first down. Yep. Third down and less than a yard.
10 yards for Jackson. He had -3 at the half unofficially. Now he has 27 yards on 7 carries. So Jackson's starting to pick up the pace a little bit for the Saints.
Again, another young player, a junior for Southview. Jackson will be back. Adrian Johnson will be back. Roger Engel will be back. It's a very young team. 3rd down and 1. Ball just shy of the 45-yard line, which is where Southview has to go to pick up the first down. Handoff goes to Jackson. He didn't get there. Down he goes at the 43, lost one. Bouncing across the line of scrimmage to make the tackle was once again Deshaun Lynn for Lorain High.
Well, I'll have to take the blame for that. I think I gave him the old broadcaster's jinx. Talked about how he was doing a good job of getting positive yards for Southview, and bam, he loses a yard on the next carry.
The 3rd quarter is in the book. Lorain High has put 2 more touchdowns on the board. It's 48-0. The Steelmen leading Southview after 3 quarters of play. We'll be back to bring you the final. And 2, the Saints are going to go for it. Pitch goes to Johnson, left side, barrels his way out close to the midfield stripe and picks up the first down.
And that time Southview got some good blocking. That was Quincy Barbie who threw a nice downfield block, which allowed Jackson to pick up the first down for Southview. And again, that's their another bright spot for Southview, 2 for 2 on 4th downs.
First down and 10 for the Saints at their own 48-yard line. Dion Moy comes to the left. Buxton to the right with Oriano in a slot right. I formation behind Roger Engel. Engel hands off to Jackson right up the middle, gets into Lorain High territory to about the Steelman 48-yard line. Greg Williams was there for Lorain High, and also there for the Steelman was London Chapman. 240-pound senior middle linebacker has a touchdown tonight on the offensive side of the football.
All right, now Dave Capel is, I'm sure, trying to get a score for Southview, try to get something out of this game, a moral victory at least. You're already beat, but you want to get beat and shut out too. That's a tough pill to swallow.
Handoff Jackson right up the middle, runs into a bunch of Steelmen, and he's thrown back to the 48-yard line.
Had a nice head of steam going, then he hit a wall at the 45-yard line, Tim, and was just backed up. They're going to give him forward progress to the 46, though, so that'll give him 2 more yards and bring up 3rd down and 5.
10:45 to go in the football game. Lorain High will move to 3-1 in the conference and 4-3 overall. What a great job Terry King has done with this football program, turning things around. 3rd down and 5. Engel fakes the handoff, runs the option, pitches it back to Johnson. Johnson down the right sideline, gets to the 40, knocked out of bounds, but that should be enough for the first down.
I wonder why we haven't seen more of that tonight, Tim. That looked pretty good. Engel did a nice job there, drew the defense into him, then pitched the ball out to Johnson, and Johnson picked up the 5 yards he needed for the first down.
So Southview now starting to put together a little bit of a drive here. 2 successive first downs. They have it at the Steelman 41-yard line.
I keep running the ball too, Tim. I wouldn't pass it. The run's working for him.
And it moves the clock. I formation behind Roger Engel. Engel again runs the option play, keeps it himself. This time cuts up field and gets to the 35, pickup of about 6. But seriously, you're right. They've started to sustain their blocks, move Lorain High off the ball a little bit, and pick up some yards on the ground.
Well, if you take the quarterback sacks and the passing yards for Engel, which you're supposed to subtract off, they're minus in the passing category, and they try those quick hitting passes, and those haven't worked all night, and they haven't been able to get the ball downfield because they haven't been able to give Engel time. So, yeah, keep doing this.
I'm going to point out something about Roger Engel after this play. Perhaps for our TV audience, Bob Quinlan will be able to zoom in on the Southview quarterback. 2nd down and 4 from the 35. Pitch goes to Johnson. Johnson left side has a head of steam, and he barrels down to about the 24-yard line. Pickup of 11. First down for the Saints. 9:18 to go in the ball game.
Nice blocking there again by Southview. That time it's a nice block by Gary Martin, and also Matt Mercado threw a nice block as well, and that allowed Johnson to get the 11-yard gain and another first down for Southview.
Now look at Roger Engel's socks. I believe he's wearing baseball stirrups. You know how the baseball players wear the stirrups up the side with the white socks underneath? Look at that.
You're right, Tim.
I've never seen that on the football field before. Engel, back to pass, keeps it himself on the quarterback draw and gets to about the 21-yard line, perhaps. Pickup of about 4. Second down and 6.
You know, it almost looked like a design play there with the pump and then the draw play because, well, definitely the receiver he was looking to out in the flat there was Oriano, and he was covered. So Engel said, I'm going to keep this, or else, like I said, that play was designed. And a nice little pickup there and first down for Southview.
I don't know why that strikes me as being so odd about Roger Engel. I've never seen a football player wearing the baseball stirrups before. Second down, Engel throws, and it's off the hands of Oriano, incomplete. That will set up third down and about 8 to go. 8:38 to go. Fourth quarter, 48-0. Lorain High on their way to winning the city championship. As last week they beat Admiral King, and tonight they manhandle Southview. Buxton and Nixon split wide to the right. Dion Moy comes to the short side here on the left. I formation behind Engel. Engel runs the option, pitches it back to Johnson. Johnson looking for a block. Got a nice block from Nixon. Gets to the 15 and pushed out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. Boy, William Nixon, only a 5'7" junior, got right in the way of the Lorain High defender, and that's all he had to do, and it created a seam for Adrian Johnson.
Yeah, all 140 pounds of him on that block there, but it was just enough to spring Johnson for the first down. Got the 8 yards he needed. And another first down for Southview. That's their 4th first down on this drive here, Tim, and 8:29 to go here in the ball game, trailing 48-0. At least Southview can now have a legitimate shot at putting some points on the board.
Yep, first down and 10 at the Lorain High 13-yard line. 8:29 to go in the football game. Buxton now comes wide to the left with Oriano in a slot left, Moy to the right. Again, I formation behind Roger Engel. Again, he runs the option play, decides to keep it himself, comes up the middle, gets to the 5, inside the 5 to about the 3-yard line. Although there is a flag on the play right in the middle of the field, which is generally where you've got the holding call.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. They got a hold against.
Well, they got an illegal block.
One of the interior linemen there. One of the Lorain players was about ready to make a tackle on Engel there, and then all of a sudden he was just taken down immediately. That allowed Engel to get the 5 or 6 yards, and the yellow flag came with that gain. So that's going to set Southview back a bit.
Made a comment earlier, Al, about the use of the option play by Southview, something we hadn't seen throughout the night, and they've unveiled it here in the fourth quarter, and it's looked pretty effective.
Sure has. Engel's done a really good job of running it, Tim. He's made the right decisions on when to pitch and when to keep it, and that's allowed Southview to gain a couple of first downs here.
Well, the Saints immediately come up on the football at the 25-yard line after the penalties marked off, and Lorain High was a little bit confused defensively. They thought Southview was going to huddle, and all of a sudden the Steelmen had to rush up and get on the football. So now the officials blow the whistle, but they didn't signal a timeout for either club. Here we go. I'm not sure why they held it up, but they did. First down and 23 from the 25-yard line. Engel, quick hitter, throws it out to Nixon. Nixon dragged down by Sanji Capers at the 30-yard line.
Play has not worked all night.
So it's a loss of 5 on the play. And that will make it second down. Well, actually, they spot Nixon down at the 28-yard line.
Well, Nixon's caught 2 passes tonight for -4 yards, both of them those quick hitters. And Tim, you have to throw deep to loosen up the defense and get them back a little bit. You can't just keep throwing those short passes, or they're going to do what Sanjay Capers has done all night. That's cheat up and make the play on that.
Buxton and Oriano to the right. Dion Moy to the left. Second and 26. Engel back to pass, and down he goes as he coughed up the football. And on the fly for Lorain High is Keith Young, all the way down to the Southview 30-yard line. Oh, my.
That was Tyree Whitaker on a right linebacker blitz. He nailed Engel, and it looked like Engel just flipped the ball to, almost handed the ball off to Keith Young. He said, here, take it. Young did, so that's going to foil the drive for Southview.
Boy, what a frustrating night for the Southview Saints. Your heart has to go out to them. No matter what they've tried to do, in the end, it has all backfired. And now Lorain High takes a timeout. Engel back to pass. And as Al said, Tyree Whitaker came on the blitz and just leveled Roger Engel. And just about as he was about to go down, the ball popped out. And Keith Young was there for Lorain High. Got the fortuitous bounce right in his hands. And he just took off with the football. I believe Tony Thomas is in there. Yep, and he gets the football. And Thomas gets down to about the 26-yard line. 160-pound sophomore. Terry King very high on this young man. He likes him a lot.
First rush of the night. That's going to go for 7 yards.
7 minutes to go in the football game. And I'm sure at this point, Dave Capel and Terry King even just want to run this clock out and move on to week number 8. Split backfield behind Adam Lucas, who had been the tight end tonight, moves now into the quarterback spot. Hands off to Thomas. Tony Thomas right side gets down to about the 20-yard line before Jason Oriano hit him there.
Nice tackle by Oriano, but not before Thomas picks up a first down.
So Tony Thomas now in the backfield. I believe Tyree Whitaker is still in at fullback, though. London Chapman has become the wingback, although he now checks out of the ball game as Darrell Maxwell has come in. Maxwell lines up in the wing. Splitting right to the short side of the field is Ed Harder. So all sorts of fresh faces in there for the Steelmen. Handoff, not much room at all for Whitaker as he got to the 20. And he coughed up the football, I believe. Southview came up with the fumble.
Yeah, that was Adrian Johnson who came up with the loose ball for Southview. So first turnover of the night that goes in Southview's favor.
Now first down and 10 for the Saints at the 20-yard line. And I think Dave Capel is now going to give some new guys a shot as well.
Well, Engel's still in there.
Engel's still in it. Still is in it, quarterback.
He's limping as well out there on his right foot. He was shaken up on that last blitz by Whitaker when he was taken down and limped off the field, and still kind of favoring that right ankle.
First down and 10, ball actually spotted at the 22-yard line. I formation. Engel runs the option play. This time it doesn't work as he's flung down at the 20. Making the hit for Lorain High was Ruben Belisario.
That's a sure sign of new players in there, Tim. That was a broken play. He looked to hand up to his back coming out of the backfield, and the back went to block somebody, and Engel said, oh, well, I guess I have this one by myself now, and had to take a yard loss.
Second down and 11. Again, next weekend, another doubleheader right here on WEOL as far as our Coal-Mire Gridiron clashes are concerned. As the handoff goes to Jackson. Jackson with some room to the 35, tripped up at about the 37-yard line. Summers made the tackle for Lorain High. Wellington will be at Elyria West on Friday night. And then Saturday night, Erie Shore Conference action as Midview will visit Elyria. Yours truly will have the play-by-play in both of those ball games. I'm not sure who I'm hooked up with as far as color guys are concerned. I'm sure they'll find somebody to sit in there with me, though. I formation, first down and 10 from the 37. Engel hands off to Jackson, and he's buried by Belisario. Oh, my. Ruben came up and just nailed Stephon Jackson.
He came through untouched, too, Tim, and he just, man. Jackson didn't have a chance on that one.
Loss of 2 on the play. The handoff, Belisario and Jackson pretty much all came together at the exact same time. Second down and 12. Buxton and Oriano go to the right. Dion Moy split to the left, which is the short side of the field. Engel runs the option play, keeps it himself, not much room. Down he goes at the 35. Lorain High has definitely made some adjustments on that option play defensively.
Yeah, well, now Lorain has that figured out. And 4 minutes to go, Tim. I don't know what much else Southview can pull out of their playbook. It's going to get him some positive yardage.
Here comes Felix Merced in the ball game for the Saints. Sprints in with the play. Under 4 minutes to go, Lorain High has dominated this game, and Roger Engel now limps out. He's pretty much done for the night as quarterback. I believe it's Merced who's taken over as QB. Yep, Felix Pitches to Johnson. Dangerous pitch. Johnson gets to the 40 and out to about the 45-yard line, and we got a late flag.
That could be something on the tackle there, Tim. I think they may have got a face mask.
You seem to be fading on me. And I don't mean literally. They may have had a face masking call over there, as the play happened right in front of the Lorain High bench. In fact, there's a player down.
See, it happened on the far side of the field, so I wanted to give the effect of sounding far away.
Okay. Nice job. It's working very well.
Thank you.
Sure, Al. That's the key up here.
And it is painted in my mind, at least.
15-yard penalty against Lorain High.
Nice run by Johnson on that after that perilous pitch, if you want to call it. 11 yards and then the 15 yards for the, believe in personal foul face mask. So now Southview has another chance to score.
First down and 10 at the Lorain High 41-yard line. I formation. Engel hands off on the draw play. It didn't go anywhere. Stuffed at the 42-yard line. On the carry, I believe, was Oriano on that play.
Yeah.
By the way, here's a trivia question for you.
All right.
Who played Chester on Gunsmoke?
You've got me on that one. I'm not even going to venture a guess.
Dennis Weaver.
Of course. That was going to be my guess, but.
Well, I'm sure it was. Second down and 11. Loss of 1 on the play. Again, I formation behind Engel, who's back in at quarterback, runs the option, pitches it to Oriano, comes up the middle. Nice move to the 35 to the 30, and dragged down inside the 25 at about the 23-yard line. And Tony Thomas for Lorain High may also pick up a face masking call.
Well, they tackled him around the head. That was the longest run from scrimmage tonight for Southview.
Oh, got a clipping call against Southview.
That would have been a 20-yard gain for Oriano. That's just the way things have gone for Southview tonight, Tim. They've actually had a couple of drives deep into Lorain territory, 2 here in the fourth quarter now, and both times penalties have set them back and then a sack. And
I thought Tony Thomas got him up high, got him by the face mask, but instead they called the clip against the Saints. And that really is the story of this game in a nutshell. I mean, nothing has gone right for Southview. Officials wind the clock, 2:40 to go. Ball now back at the 47-yard line of Lorain High. Buxton, along with Nixon, come to the left. Dion Moy split to the right. I formation behind Engel. Roger back to pass. Looking to roll right, has no room. Down he goes, back at the 44-yard line.
Didn't have a chance. That was Josh Terry in on the tackle. Terry, a 5'8", 190-pound senior.
And boy, Engel's going to be sore tomorrow. He's taking some hits.
It's going to be a 10-yard loss. And again there, Tim, he didn't have any time at all. He took the snap and he was already running for his life. There were 3 guys in the backfield. Not much you can do when Lorain's closer to you than your own running backs are.
3rd and 24. Boy, it seems as though the Saints have been in 3rd and long, and real long, all night long. Hand off to Jackson, no room. Loss on that play of about 2 yards. There for Lorain High was Jason Woods. Well, here comes Steve Bibb. We talked about Engel being sore. Steve Bibb will have a sore leg for the rest of the week.
I believe this is his 9th punt of the night.
Is that what your calculations show?
That's what my calculations show.
4th down and 24 from the 45-yard line. A minute to go in the football game. Thomas back deep for Lorain High to receive the punt at the 25. And short snap goes to Adrian Johnson. Johnson dragged down at the 44. So even the fake punt doesn't work for Southview as they lose a yard on that play. So Lorain High will get the football back. Only 48 seconds to go in the game. And let's see if they simply go into what some teams call victory formation right here and just take a knee.
Well, Tim, they sure caught me by surprise. I didn't expect to see that on 4th down and 24 with a minute to go and down 48-0.
No, it caught me by surprise as well. 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. Adam Lucas under center. Split backs behind him. And we've got movement in the line. Both sides were moving, so I'm not sure who jumped first with 26 seconds left.
Just trying to give Southview some credit for maybe being a little bit, I don't know, using some ingenuity there.
I was say imaginative.
There you go.
So the 5-yard penalty is marked off against Lorain High. They called the illegal procedure against the Steelmen. So it's now 1st and 15 from the 49. Officials wind the clock, so this will probably be the final play of the football game. Tyree Whitaker and Tony Thomas are behind Adam Lucas. Lucas takes a knee, and that's the ball game. The final score from George Daniel Field in Lorain. The Steelmen pitch the shutout as they simply dominate the Southview Saints. The final score, 48-0 with the win. Lorain High now 3-1 in the conference, and they are 4-3 overall. Southview drops to 1-6 overall, and they are 0-4 in the conference.